Welcome to another supernaturally healthy vlog with me, Kezia Hall, health coach and wellness writer and blogger and all-round kind of natural health enthusiast. Today I'm going to carry on talking a bit about gluten, which we started a few weeks ago, and I'm going to share more with you about the difference between being gluten-free and wheat-free, because there's a bit of confusion over that area. Often foods will say wheat-free, gluten-free, some foods will say both, and often lots of clients and readers get quite confused about this. So, as we discussed last time, gluten is this protein-like substance that can often have a very harmful effect on the body. But when we're talking about it in terms of gluten and wheat, what you want to think about is gluten is the big daddy, the overarching kind of dad of it all, and wheat is a branch of it. So wheat contains gluten, but it's a grain within itself. Things like rye also contain gluten, but they don't contain wheat. So when someone says they're going wheat-free, what they're saying is they're cutting out the grain of wheat. They'll still probably enjoy gluten in other grains and in other areas of their diet, but specifically they're cutting out this specific grain of wheat. So what is wheat? Wheat is any wheat flour, wholemeal flour. It's in pasta, it's in cakes, it's in biscuits, it's in things like gnocchi, it's often in loads of sauces and processed foods, because wheat is probably our the highest consumed grain and potentially carbohydrate of kind of British and Western cultures. We process wheat and grow it in phenomenal amounts, and we eat loads of it. Often people have cereal that contains wheat for breakfast, sandwiches for lunch, and pasta for dinner. So all meals, 5 or 6 days a week, all contain wheat. So wheat is the branch and gluten is the parent up here. Other grains that contain gluten but don't contain wheat are things like barley, rye, and other derivatives of wheat are things like spelt or bulgur wheat, couscous, all that sort of stuff. So hopefully that will clear things up a bit and help you to know the difference. For those of you that love bread, pasta, cakes, cereal, I would recommend beginning your journey by going wheat-free, and try it just for 3 or 4 days. See how you feel, and I can almost guarantee you that you will feel so much better by just beginning by cutting out wheat that actually you'll want to carry it on. I was speaking to a client the other day who cut out wheat just for 1 day, sort of by accident, and she felt so much better by the end of that day, so much less bloated, so much more energized and in less pain and all this sort of stuff, just by doing 1 day of not eating wheat. So I really recommend, if going gluten-free feels like a bit much and a bit weird and you're not really convinced, then I would recommend going 3 or 4 days with no wheat, and let me know how you feel. I can guarantee you'll feel better. So what foods to eat if you are wanting to go wheat-free or gluten-free? So if you want to go wheat-free, you can still enjoy things like rye bread, oats and oat cakes, all different, obviously stuff like rice and things like brown rice pasta are really good if you're a total pasta champion, as well as you could try things like spelt, which is a form of wheat, but often people find that far more easier to digest and less causes less bloating, and it's a lot more of a natural wheat. If you want to go gluten-free, if you just want to take that step, then I would really recommend things like rice, quinoa, buckwheat, and using things like ground almonds or ground linseeds, and looking at all the grain-free blogs and recipes that I have on my on this site, and just finding different things like that. And some of it it's one of the key things, whether you're going wheat-free or whether you're going gluten-free, is about changing your habits. You know, there's loads of gluten-free bread, like cakes, pasta, everything. You can get gluten-free everything now, but often they're filled with so much crap, like just tons of it. You read the ingredients list and it's more junk filled than the wheat filled, original. So I would really recommend, please do not go gluten-free and just eat gluten-free bread. That is not going to do your body any good. What I'd recommend is that you change your habits. So maybe you're in the habit of always eating cereal for breakfast, sandwiches for lunch. Start to change your habits. Stop taking soups for lunch. Stop having salads for lunch. Stop doing rolls or loads of other recipes out there. There's so much good stuff on things like Pinterest and just even on Google of different recipes out there. And it's about changing your habits. Start small. Maybe start by just changing what you have for breakfast or changing what you have for lunch. And then as the weeks go on, start to implement more and more changes, and you will feel so much better for it. It's so, like, being gluten intolerant now, so many people are realizing how beneficial it is. There's a great link underneath this video about the link between gluten and thyroid function. So for those of you out there that really struggle with thyroid function, there's a doctor talking about that, which was just really, really interesting. And the more the research that's coming out, the more you realize the harmful effects that our modern day consumption of gluten, just in the amount that we eat and the way it's processed, is having loads of harm on our health. So if step one for you is going wheat-free, then give it a go. And if you feel comfortable to, then why don't you go gluten-free and enjoy some great gluten-free like grains, like I said before, buckwheat, quinoa, brown rice, and there's a whole host, and millet. There's loads of stuff out there. And hopefully this has been a really helpful video for you. If you have any questions, leave them below. And if you like this video, then share it on your Facebook page, tweet about it, show it to your granny, because I want people in this world to be as healthy and as happy as can be. Have an awesome day. As Kid President would say, be more awesome. And I will see you soon. Bye.